When Shovel Knight Pocket Dungeon was revealed, I assumed it was going to be level-based. Like, each level has some sort of randomization, but you're still beating each level one after the other. However, when I bought the game, I found out that it was a full-on roguelike, meaning when you die, you start over from the beginning. This was very worrying, since I'm not the biggest fan of roguelikes. So is this game like any other roguelike and disappoint me, or does it somehow capture my interest? Well, let's find out, so without any further ado, let's dive straight in. Shovel Knight Pocket Dungeon is one of those block-filling puzzle games. However, unlike most of those, you actually control a character. The goal of the game is to move around and destroy patches of enemies by attacking them. If you attack an enemy, any enemies of the same type touching it also get damaged. And the more touching, the more killed, and thus the more gems you receive. However, every time you attack them, they attack you back, meaning you want to heal constantly, meaning you have to choose when and where to use your potions. However, when I first started, I really didn't understand this concept. I was of the impression that you wanted to save your potions, meaning I died a lot. It wasn't until I realized the main loop of the game, which was attack, heal, attack, heal, attack, heal, when I actually started progressing. When I did, it became a lot of fun. You try and wait to attack enemies until they're all next to each other, dealing more damage. You pay attention to your health and how much damage your enemies do so you don't die. You even open chests and use the items to do even more damage. Speaking of the items, there's two different types. They're the small chests with small items in them, and they can be used for a set number of times before they break. As I said, those are very useful if you're in trouble. The other kind comes from these bigger blue chests. Here you can purchase more permanent items from Chester. The better ones obviously cost more money, which not only means that you have to spend your money wisely, but also incentivizes you to gain more money by getting bigger chains. Chains meaning how many enemies you kill at one time, by the way. These items are pretty useful and can be used in a lot of situations. Like some let you just do more damage, while others let you freeze time. The better items let you have more health or even immune to certain attacks. They even open up more strategy. Like in Tinker Knight section, there's a lot of electric rats that I found very difficult. So in my next playthrough, I bought this upgrade that allows you to be immune to electric damage. These items are one way the game incentivizes you to start over. As I said, this game is a roguelike, meaning death boots you back to the start. However, there are some things that do stay with you. Like some of your gems stay with you, but not all of them, and I'm not really sure how the game decides which amount stays with you. I'm not sure. Anyway, these allow you to buy items from Chester. However, these items that you buy don't stay with you, but instead are added to the list of possible items you can find in the game. You can also use your money to purchase shortcuts to different sections of the map. This is kind of useful, but not really. It means you don't get any of the gems since you aren't playing any of the easier stages, and you're likely not to progress since you don't have any of the upgrades. The only other thing that you can keep through deaths are the new characters. Oh, these are awesome. As you play, you might encounter another knight and get into a boss fight. These are actually really fun, and once you beat them, like I said, you unlock them as playable characters. Each one even has certain changes and abilities. The first one I got, and probably the most distinct, is Spectre Knight. Instead of attacking enemies and then healing, he heals from attacking enemies. This means the health potions actually do damage to him, and this causes you to have to pay close attention to each enemy's health even more. He completely changed your mindset about how you approach the game, and I really liked it. However, this game doesn't just have returning characters. There are a few new ones, like Puzzle Knight. He's the focus of the game's story. However, other than him, there's Prism Knight, Scrap Knight, and I think that's about it. This game really does rely on the original Shovel Knight's popularity. I like the old knights appearing, I just wish there were more new ones. However, you can also unlock Scrap and Prism Knight as playable characters, and I was super excited to check them out. However, by the time that I unlocked them, I was used to Spectre Knight, and as I've explained, he plays very differently, so to switch back to anyone else, I would have to relearn the game again. So I just stuck with Spectre Knight. But anyways, it's about time to beat the game, so how do you do it? Well, to start off, I haven't explained how the story starts. At the beginning, Shovel Knight finds a puzzle box and gets sucked into it. Now go. Yeah, that's basically all the story you got. Shovel Knight does end up joining a camp with some other knights, and they all work together to try and escape, and that's why you unlock new characters. You're recruiting them to the camp. But now, with all your friends, you now have to find a way out. This leads into the main game, where you travel away from camp through different areas, simply surviving the falling enemies and getting into the exit. Then you go on to even more areas. Eventually, you see stuff that you were probably not meant to see. When you finally get to the end, you find out what's really happening. Puzzle Knight is imprisoned. Somehow he is trapped within the puzzle box and can't get out, while everyone else can just walk out if they find the exit. But he wants to get out, and the only way to do so is to find another puzzle master to take his place. To do this, he lures other knights, including you, into the box. He then tests you throughout the game to see if you can be the next puzzle master. Then he finally confronts you so you can take his place and he can escape. However, since you just went through the entire game, you're a better puzzle master than him, so you beat him. Then you escape, and the end. Okay, that's not a great ending. The rest of the camp is still inside, and Puzzle Knight is still imprisoned. Well, there is one way to save them all. If you find the key to the puzzle box, you can open it and set everyone free. So you have to go back to camp and do it all over again, this time finding these secret rooms with a door guarded by a giant skeleton. The first one has 3 keyholes, meaning you must show up with 3 keys to enter. So I started over, but this time didn't use any of my keys. I got back, opened the door, found Shield Knight, which was cool, and I found a part of the key. This is just 1/4 of it though. Now I set off to find the other 3 parts. I saved as many keys as I could, assuming I need them to open the other doors. I mean, you don't. The other doors are opened with other things. However, I just never got out of the habit of saving keys, which made the game a lot harder. Like seriously, whenever I'd remember, oh yeah, I can use keys, the game just got a lot easier, and then I'd forget again, because I'm an idiot. Anyways, you keep going and find a door with a heart. You have to give up 1 of your health points to enter. Next, you have to spend 20,000 gold, which is a lot. To get the last piece over, you have a boss fight with the skeleton guard. I really enjoyed this idea of having to get 4 key parts to get to the true ending. It's actually pretty hard and all but guarantees you have to play the game a few times to win. But eventually you get all the parts, get to the end, and tell Puzzle Knight you have an idea. Just then, the Enchantress reveals herself. Yep, because she has to be the final boss. Again. Come on, can we get another villain? Anyway, her boss fight is actually pretty good. She even turns Puzzle Knight into a giant monster to fight you. But after they go down, you escape with all of your friends, including Puzzle Knight. We also find out that Prism Knight is Puzzle Knight's daughter, which leads to a pretty wholesome ending. But with that, the end. I really enjoyed this game. It shows Yacht Club can make a lot of good games. It has many different characters and playstyles and has a lot of fun bosses and regular levels. It was a roguelike that I enjoyed, and it was also a lot of fun. If you enjoy these fighting block games, or even if you don't, check this game out. You might enjoy it. It surprised me. But with that, thank you all for watching, and goodbye.
So this week, well, technically last week, I was supposed to work on a video about judging Nintendo games by their cover, but I never got around to it. I was really lazy that week. It was like my week off, I guess. So this week I tried recording it yesterday, but then like all of the footage was corrupted. So that goes that. I do still want to make that video, but it's getting annoying to make. So I'm putting that off. I'll do that next week. And I'm making this video this week instead. That video is supposed to come out before this video. But I might release it after. I might not release it at all. So you probably know more than me. But I hope that video came out well. I hope this video comes out well. I hope all my videos come out well. Anyway, goodbye.